Well, at that time, Dr. Malcolm Green was the chairman of the Education Committee. And Malcolm came with this idea that we should have a delegation visiting Pakistan to understand the education system there, and not just in Islamabad or Lahore, but in remote areas. And we did that, okay, in villages and so on. And we saw what a little teacher way up in Hunza Valley was trying to do with the little children there. And we were very, very impressed. I was at least very, very impressed. And I still have those videos and everything for our Pakistan visit. And then their delegation, Pakistan delegation, came to Glasgow. And again, I was asked, I and Maeve MacDonald, one of the advisors in guidance, were asked to organize their visit, and we did, and they were very, very happy. But Jim Castles and Jim Castles was the leader of the team, being the head teacher. He used to say, "Nihar, you should have been." I said, no. You are the right man for the job. There were myself and 4 other teachers. One was an art teacher, one was a music teacher, and so on. And I covered the science and maths side, and so did Jim. He was a chemist. So we had a fairly good idea. For example, we went to Lahore College, and guess who I met there? I met the immortal leg spinner of Pakistan, Abdul Qadir. He was an ex-student, and he had come by coincidence on the same day. And so I said, I know this man. And he was sort of almost taken aback, very, very unassuming man, you know. But one of my proudest moments about the religious side is that when I became the assistant advisor and project leader, for the ethnic minorities project of Strathclyde, I insisted, and I went to Edinburgh and insisted upon the major educational grant to organizations of ethnic minorities. And as a result, and through the efforts of Shaheen Saab and a few others, and Kohli Saab, Mr. Seva Singh Kohli, the community place in on not Bath Street, what's that street? Anyway, where the Gurdwara is in the western, they had the Male Milap that was started by Mr. Kohli. It was his brainchild completely. A great man he was. And again, I said, because of our efforts, the central mosque got £150,000 grant, one stroke. I can assure you, I used to go there regularly during my project years, and they had really used it well. You know, when you see a 9-year-old reciting without having a look from the Holy Quran completely, I mean, absolute blessed people. The thing that I was involved in directly was Saraswati Puja. Now, Saraswati is a sort of cult that has been created as the goddess of learning. And even when we were that high in schools in India, every school would do their own Saraswati Puja. And on Saraswati Puja day, which is sometimes in January, sometimes in early February and like that, the winter months, the day is a complete holiday for all schools, complete holiday. So here, the students wanted to do the puja, so we started. We didn't have a home or a place, so somebody's flat was used to do the puja. In those days, we used to hire 4 rooms in a flat and stay together, do our own cooking, washing, everything, and studying. And one of the big rooms, that's where the Saraswati Puja would take place. Later on, the university allowed us to do that, and the University Officers Club on 11 University Gardens was a place where Mr. and Mrs. Baxter were our wonderful hosts, and he allowed this thing to go on, and so we had a regular function there. It's something that my departed friend Dr. Pulak Mukherjee and 3 other people, Dipen Mukherjee, a doctor who is now retired and stays in London, Mr. Satyan Mukherjee, an accountant who taught accountancy in Bell College in Hamilton, and he was one of them. He died recently. And myself, the 4 of us decided or agreed that yes, there should be an effort to make Durga Puja. So I said, well, the Bengalis have a Bengali Cultural Association, and it runs a Bengali school for Bengali language. The Bangladeshi people by that time had already started a similar thing, which is great commendations to them. And one of our very, very great, phenomenal workers was a lady called Mrs. Minare. Mina's work is well recognized in Pollock Shields, for example, for the teaching of English as a second language. She's very well known about that. Mina was a Bengali graduate and in Bengali language, and was very good at a lot of work in Bengali culture, and she and somebody else, an assistant, taught Bengali. In order to encourage them, I volunteered, and although they got paid a little bit, I did not want any. I went in to teach Indian Bengali music, just to encourage the children to, if they sing the songs and say the words, repeat the words, that would improve their pronunciation and so on. And people say it did, but that's the little memory I have of that. And so I told them that, look, why don't we adopt the puja within our school? Because the school should do Saraswati Puja. It's a school. So they had no argument against that. So this was taken from their hands, much against their wishes. And but then they realized that this was all for a good reason. And since that time, the Durga Puja, the Saraswati Puja went on until 1971. One of these, 81, beg your pardon, 81. In 1981, Dr. Mukherjee, Pulak Mukherjee, who was a consultant psychiatrist in Lanarkshire, he came to me and said, look, I was doing the Saraswati Puja, by the way, and again at 11 University Gardens, and he said that we want to do this, will you help us? So I said, okay. We insist all Hindus must be able to participate. Whether they are members of this club or not, they must be able to participate. All Hindus. And that way it went, and it went from strength to strength. I did everything, did the puja for years. Every year from 1981 up until 2002, over 20 years, we did a program. When it first started, it was unique, not just in Glasgow, not just in UK, but that program was not made live anywhere in India either. My first identity, culture-wise, is I am an Indian. That's my first identity. I was born in India, so that's my identity. My second identity is British, and my most important identity now is I am a Scot, and I am a member of the Scottish National Party. I have been for a number of years, and it is my dream that before I go into a wooden box, I would see Scotland an independent country. If you said Diwali, it would make nothing. If you said Eid al-Zuha or Eid al-Fitr, it would mean nothing. to people. Okay, in those days we had to find a little hole to where to go and pray. Okay, I mean, there was a time when there wasn't a suitable place for a mosque. From there we have come to this. Look at the gurdwaras, look at the temples, look at all the things. They are making an impact everywhere, and they're showing that we are not here to take the country over. We are here to do our hard work, educate our children, and give them the best of both cultures, their culture, Scottish culture, British culture, as well as our own.